everybody. Today I'm going to be reading for you the News to You article for the week. This week it is titled Tulip Time Festival. This is a really cool article this week because it's about our state, specifically Holland, Michigan, which I think is pretty amazing considering that this curriculum is used all over the country. So I did find a little video about Tulip Time and specifically about this year's festival in 2021. And we'll go ahead and watch this. This is from a travel blog.
Welcome back to the Mashed Potatoes Outdoor Show. Today I'm in Holland, Michigan. I'm going to give you a quick preview of the Tulip Time Festival. This is Travel Vlog 43. Don't go anywhere. So my plans for today are to just give you a quick preview. The Tulip Time Festival starts in about 7 or 8 days. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the organizers don't determine when the tulips are going to bloom. They just bloom when they're going to bloom. So as you can see, they're already looking pretty good. This festival is actually a really big deal. They won a couple of awards, Best Small Town Festival and #1 Flower Festival. They actually plant about, or have planted about 6 million tulips. And so I'm going to just walk around town and check out the blooms and give you a quick preview. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.
Still lots of tulips getting ready to bloom.
about all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this preview of the Tulip Time Festival. A lot of the flowers are getting ready to bloom, so they're just about perfectly timed. I don't think they're doing the parade this year, so just be aware of that because of COVID. And this Windmill Island Gardens that I'm at right now, there is an admission charge. I think it's $5 for kids, $10 for adults, so just be aware of that. But anyway, thanks for watching the Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will see you next time.
So that was just a little preview about the Tulip Time Festival, just to see kind of what it's going to look like. Like you said, they can't really time exactly when the tulips are supposed to bloom. So they plan this festival in hopes that the tulips are ready at this time, but they kind of bloom whenever they want to, based on the weather and the conditions. So we'll read a little bit more about the Tulip Time Festival. So here is page 1. So a big tulip festival is in Holland, Michigan. The festival is named the Tulip Time Festival. Tulip time is each spring. Tulip time is May 1st through 9th in 2021. So that starts this Saturday, this upcoming Saturday. Let's move on to page 2. Tulip Time is the biggest tulip festival in the US. Tulip Time celebrates tulips. Tulips are flowers that bloom in spring. Many tulips bloom in and around Holland, Michigan. Visitors can get maps that show where the tulips are. So a lot of what this festival is just walking around and looking at the tulips. So they do have maps of the places that you can go to see the tulips. Let's move on to page 3. The tulips are very colorful. The tulips can be red, pink, yellow, orange, purple, white, and more. Many tulips bloom beside the streets in Holland, Michigan. So tulips are a flower that grow really well here in Michigan. And obviously they don't just grow in Holland. I actually have some tulips in my front yard flower beds, and they are in bloom right now too. Let's move to page 4. Many tulips bloom in gardens too. One garden in Holland, Michigan is huge. More than 5 million tulips bloom there. Visitors can go through the garden. They can enjoy the tulips and other spring flowers. So let's see if we can see a picture of this garden. See if we can look at it. 2020, because it's not fully in bloom yet. Let's see if we can see kind of the sheer magnitude of how many tulips are in bloom. There really are a lot, and they're beautiful. They're all different colors. I think this would be really cool to go see. I have been to Holland, Michigan, but I've never been to Tulip Time Festival. Let's move on to page 5. Tulip Time celebrates Dutch Americans. Dutch Americans came to the US from the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a country in Europe. The Netherlands is famous for tulips and windmills. Many Dutch Americans live in Holland, Michigan. Just like a lot of other towns in Michigan, some towns kind of have a heritage that they fall into. For example, a lot of you are familiar with the town Frankenmuth. They have a rich kind of like German heritage there. So Holland, Michigan has a really big Dutch influence from the Netherlands. Let's move on to page 6. Visitors can tour a special area in Holland, Michigan. This area looks like a Dutch town. Visitors can see a windmill from the Netherlands. Visitors can see people wearing Dutch costumes. The costumes include wooden shoes. Let's see if we could see what that would look like. This is what you might see is people kind of dressed like this. So they have wooden shoes. You might see dancing. Just costumes from their Dutch heritage. Let's move on to page 7. Visitors may see Dutch dancers. The Dutch dancers wear wooden shoes. These shoes make a sound when the dancers dance. Visitors can tour a wooden shoe factory. They can see how wooden shoes are made. That would be pretty cool to see as well. Let's move on to page 8. Visitors can eat Dutch food at Tulip Time. A popular Dutch food is stroopwafel. A stroopwafel is a kind of cookie. A stroopwafel has a caramel filling. The filling is between 2 thin waffles. Stroopwafels are so delicious. I'll show you a picture of what they look like. They're kind of like thin looking waffles, so they're kind of crispy, and they have caramel in between 2 layers of them. They're super tasty. Let's move on to page 9. The Tulip Time Festival is May 1st through the 9th. Tulip Time celebrates tulips, Dutch Americans, and Holland, Michigan. Would you like to go to Tulip Time? Let's move on to page 10. This is all about the tulips, the what of our story. The Tulip Time Festival celebrates tulips. Tulips are colorful flowers. Tulips grow from bulbs. People plant tulips bulbs in fall. Then the tulips bloom in spring. And for somebody like me who has them in my front yard, once you plant them, they come back every year. So you may need to, plant some more to kind of fill it in, but I have tulips that come back every single year. Move on to page 11. This is about our where, which is a place, right? Holland, Michigan. The Tulip Time Festival is in Holland, Michigan. Holland is in western Michigan. Holland is near Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is one of the Great Lakes. Holland State Park is in Holland, Michigan. So if we look at a map, a pretty good one. Right here is Holland, Michigan. We are kind of somewhere over in here in this central part of Michigan. So it would be a little bit of a drive. I'm not sure how far it is from here exactly. Move on to page 12. Another where is the Netherlands. So that is a different country. So like we read about earlier, Holland, Michigan has a Dutch influence. So people from the Netherlands a long time ago moved to that area. Dutch Americans came to the US from the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a country in northwestern Europe. People in the Netherlands speak the Dutch language. The capital of Netherlands is Amsterdam. Amsterdam is the biggest city in the Netherlands. So just like, again, our capital is Washington, D.C., Amsterdam is the capital of the Netherlands. We're going to move on to our joke page on page 14. This goes, knock, knock. We say, who's there? Tulips. Tulips who? Tulips are on my face. So you have tulips, 1, 2, on your face. Let's move on to the next joke page on page 15. I have a joke. Tell me, what kind of gardens do bakers have? I don't know what. Flower gardens. So instead of like a flower that blooms, they're talking about flour, like the baking ingredient, the white kind of powder. Now we're on to our game page. So this is the page where we will circle words that was from this article. Did we read about windmill? We did read about windmills. There's particularly one big Dutch windmill in Holland, Michigan that you could see if you went to Tulip Time Festival. What about the word timer? No, we didn't read about a timer. What about flower? We did read about flowers because tulips are a type of flower. What about Dutch? We did read about Dutch because Holland, Michigan has a strong Dutch influence. So Dutch people are from the Netherlands. What about the word garden? Did we read about that? We did read about gardens, particularly they have one huge garden that has over 5 million tulips in it. What about wooden shoes? We did read about wooden shoes. The Dutch dancers often wear the wooden shoes, and you'll probably see people in costumes if you go to Tulip Time Festival. What about the word dancers? We did talk about dancers. You'll also see some dancers there that are often wearing the wooden shoes. What about the word teepee? No, we didn't talk about teepees. Those are often in some indigenous cultures, but we talked about Dutch culture specifically this time. What about the word bloom? we did talk about the word bloom. So the tulips are now coming into bloom. What about the word costumes? We did talk about costumes because at this festival, people will often wear Dutch costumes. What about model airplane? Did we talk about that today? No, we didn't talk about model airplanes. What about stroopwafel? Yep, so stroopwafels are a dessert in Dutch culture. What about birdhouse? No, we didn't talk about birdhouses. What about festival? Yep, so this is the Tulip Time Festival. We'll circle that one. What about the word spring? Did we talk about that today? So these tulips bloom in spring. Last word. Did we talk about tulips? So tulips are the whole reason for the festival. They plant millions of them in Holland, Michigan. Clear my drawings and we will go on to the next page, page 17, which should be our review page. So question 1, what is this paper about? Removing trash from space, national parks, or Tulip Time Festival? Circle the answer you think is correct. It's about Tulip Time Festival, option 3. All right, number 2, who can eat Dutch food at Tulip Time? Visitors, fairies, or pirates? Circle the answer you think is correct. Number who is a person? Visitors can eat Dutch food at the Tulip Time Festival. Question 3, where is Tulip Time? Hartford, Connecticut, Mobile, Alabama, or Holland, Michigan? It's in Holland, Michigan. Woo! Story about Michigan. I think that's so cool. Option 3. Question 4. What is part of a Dutch costume? A kimono, a sombrero, or wooden shoes? Circle the answer you think is correct. Wooden shoes, option 3. Question 5. When do tulips bloom? Winter, spring, or fall? Circle the answer you think is correct. Spring. The festival is about to happen now that it's spring, and it goes May 1st through the 9th. Question 6. What kind of dancers wear wooden shoes? Dutch dancers, break dancers, or hula dancers? Circle the answer you think is correct. Dutch dancers, option 1. Let me clear my drawings and we'll move on to page 18, which should be the puzzle page, crossword puzzle. And this should be our last page before we move on to our worksheet activities. So remember, this has words that go across, which is horizontal, and that's normally the way we write. And it also has words that go down or vertical, and that's kind of a way we don't normally write. We're going to start with our words that go across. We're going to look for number 3. So if you find number 3 in our puzzle, it's right here. And we are going to write the word tulips. Tulips is spelled T U L I P S. That spells the word tulips. Remember, our festival is all about tulips. It's the Tulip Time Festival, so it celebrates these flowers. Let's cross off number 3. We're still working on our crosswords, so we're going to look for number 5, which is right here in our puzzle. That word says garden. Garden is spelled G A R D E N. Garden. Let's cross it off. So there's gardens of tulips here at Tulip Time Festival. Still working out our words that go across. We're going to look for number 8. 8 is right here. And it says festival. Festival is spelled F E S T I B A L. Festival. Let's cross off 8. So remember, this is Tulip Time Festival, which means we're celebrating. Last crossword is number 9. 9 is right here in your puzzle. And that word says costumes. Costumes is spelled C-O-S-T-U-M-E. S. That spells costumes. So you might see people at this festival dressed in Dutch costumes. We're going to cross off number 9. Now we're going to move to the other side over here, and we're going to work on the words that go down. And this is not normally the way we write, so it's a little bit more tricky. We're going to start off with number 1. Number 1 in our puzzle is right here. And remember, we're writing in this direction, we're writing down. This is a pretty long word. It says stroopwafel, which are those delicious treats you could eat at the Tulip Time Festival. Stroopwafel is spelled S. We've already written the letter T. R. O. O. P. W. A. F, we've already written. E. L. That spells stroopwafel. Let's cross number 1 off. Number 2, and we're still going down, is right here in your puzzle. That word says spring. Spring is spelled S. P, we've already written. R. I. N. And G, we've already written. Let's cross number 2 off. So the tulips spring or bloom in spring. Number 4. 4 is right here in your puzzle. Remember, we are still writing down. And that word says windmills. Windmills is spelled W. I. N. D, we've already written. M. I. L, we've already written. L. And S, we've already written. That spells windmills. Remember, windmills are wind operated, kind of looks like a fan, but they generate energy typically. And there is a big windmill in Holland, Michigan, that is from the Netherlands. So 6 down is our next word. 6 is right here. And we are going to spell the word Dutch. Dutch is spelled capital D. U. T, we've already written. C. H. That spells Dutch. Let's cross it off. So Holland, Michigan has a lot of Dutch heritage and Dutch culture there, as many people from the Netherlands had moved there at one point. All right, our last word, we're gonna work on 7 down. 7 is right here in our puzzle. And this word says bloom. Bloom is spelled B L O O M. We've already written. Cross that off. So just like many other flowers, tulips only bloom or have the beautiful, colorful flower part of it one time a year, and that happens to be just about right now in the springtime. So I hope you learned a little bit about the Tulip Time Festival that is happening in Holland, Michigan, the 1st through the 9th. This might be something you want to go see and visit, or maybe look up some more videos about if you can't go in person. I think that it would be really cool to go sometime in person. I have been to Holland, but I've never gotten to go to Tulip Time Festival. Now, if you'd like to, you can get out your accompanying packet and complete that. You'll need something to write with, you'll need something to color with, some scissors, and some glue. I will see you guys next time, and I hope you have a very wonderful day. Bye.